Alright, this is Corey with Magnacut knives again. Got one here. Of course, what you can see, it's a Demco. This is the third attempt on the video. First one, I wasn't recording on the unboxing. Second one, I went to replace the scales and it just was a nightmare, lost the spring. So anyways, what we got here, we got the AD20 with, it came with the G10 green or OD green G10 scales, and this is the full size. Like I said, this probably be a shorter video since I've been at it here doing this. Spring tension on this one versus the AD20 Slim, big difference in spring tension. They come apart a little bit differently as far as things go. But anyways, I've been wanting one of these for a while. I did swap out because I ordered some scales, some titanium scales from OG, and I can't carry a G10 knife, so I'm just threw the old scales back onto this one and went ahead and put it onto the full thickness knife. I don't know, that might just be me. That's big size difference. Big size difference. I don't know. I don't know if it's just me or not, but I have a hard time carrying G10, just full G10 knives. I don't think I own any aside from that one. But so these I bought, these are aluminum. So if it's aluminum or titanium, I prefer carrying. I don't know. I'm a weird guy. So, and I didn't mind carrying it with these on there. You know, it's because I was stoked to get this thing. I've been waiting. You know, you can go on eBay and buy. There's the markup on these is ridiculous on the secondary, especially on eBay. And I didn't want to do that. I was just waiting patiently. You know, like this one. Where did I get this? I got this at NC Blade. This is the NC Blade drop in Magnacut. So they're both at Magnacut. I don't recall. I got this one at Knife Joy. Just on a whim, I was searching through their page one day on the Slim, and it came up, and I hadn't had a Demco yet, so decided to go ahead and just snag it, and I do love it. But this guy, because if you watch the channel, you know I like bigger knives. This is fucking awesome. The thumb studs, because the opening hole, I'm all over the place. You know, your fuller, I like it. It reverse flicks, but you can't. You give it wrist, it'll go. But I just wanted that thumb stud action. This came with the thumb stud and the fuller, so I jumped on it as soon as I got the email. Jumped on there and snagged one. Of course, the full ties were gone, you know, completely. And so the weight on these is 6 ounces. Do the weight with the aluminum scales. So 6.85, so you're adding, you know, that 0.85 to it, which I love. I believe they're all the same, basically the same size, because this is a spear point and this is the drop point. Really enjoy this one, which had these scales on it, of course. So I'm gonna wait till the other ones come in and do a swap, do that over again. And I thought about getting a set of copper. They got copper and brass as well. But anyways, let me get my calipers out, because I know that the thickness on these, let me zero this out. I think they're 0.19. That's not right. I'm gonna zero this out again. These things might need to be recalibrated. 0.1, 0.7, that's not right. Anyway, about 0.1 is what they advertise them as. I'd say it's probably close to that. I'll take their word for it. But the feel of this is so much better. You know, a lot of people ask, why do I like Big Knives? I don't know why I like Big Knives, I just do. Maybe it's because I, you know, carry a lot of Medfords all the time. Just not a smaller knife guy. You know, and this one's not small by any means. It's just slimmer. So having that thicker blade stock, of course this one's gonna slice better, but I don't really care. I don't sit there and cut cardboard all day long. But I did notice that these do have titanium thumb studs, which I was shocked by. You know, everything else is steel on it, but the thumb studs are titanium, which is cool. Thumb stud placement is perfect on this thing. It's just, and it's just super smooth. You know, you take it apart, and I always put oil on my bearings, just a touch of KPL, or what's the other one that I use? KPL, or it's in the little white bottle. Gunny Glide, maybe that's what it is. And smooth it out. I mean, the action on this thing is just, and even just a thumb stud for slow rolling, which you can do on this guy, but it's just not as satisfying. And like I said, you got to give it wrist. You can't, just because of the way the lock and everything is, the detent's, you know, not the same as a normal knife. So I'm going to be carrying this guy for the unforeseeable future, unless I get something else that comes in or whatever. But you know, people done a lot of videos about these. This one came, very sharp. The slim, I did have to strop, and then I ended up putting a mirror edge on it. Probably do the same to this guy, even though it doesn't need it, but I just enjoy sharpening sometimes. Not much. You know, it's a big, the ergonomics on these things, you know, people say handle to blade ratio. You know, I can see it on some knives. This knife, I don't have an issue with, just because the ergos are just, I mean, it just melts in your hand. I don't feel any hot spots. The jimping is right where it should be, higher up on the knife. I mean, it goes all the way back, but if you got it in your standard grip, you're getting a good bite on there. And like I said, the action is just, it's just ridiculous. It's, you know, plus the fidget factor with these things is off the walls. And this one, like I said, it was different to take apart. Basically, on the other one, you know, these little pins here, I'm not going to get into it because I was, you know, that spring, once I took that spring, that spring went flying. I had to find it. But good thing I did find it. I'd have been fucking pissed. But anyway, this thing is awesome, beefy. This is, you know, you got the honeymoon phase of a knife, and you know, it's kind of over with, I guess, since I've had this one for a while now and carried it. But I can already just say that this is one of my favorite knives. You know, it's in the top, I would say it's in the top 5 almost. And It's just, words can't describe it until you hold one. If you do not like thick blade stocks and shit like that, and if you don't like wider knives or heavier knives, I mean, you'll be happier with this one. I could recommend this one. I can recommend them both. But if you want something slicey, if you're cutting cardboard all day long, which I don't know anybody that does that, you know, this would be your go-to here. If you like slimmer, lighter ones, again, go-to here. Not that I'm saying I don't like this. I love this knife. Love it. Hate this G10, but like I said, I got the other ones coming. So, can I recommend this? Yeah. I would recommend this all day long. This is the, and I don't know what makes it the exclusive for NC Blade. I don't know if it's the drop point or the thumb studs. You know, I would say it's Magnacut, but the other one I have is a Magnacut, so I didn't really read. I guess I should go back and see why it is. Maybe it's the blade shape, because it's a drop point. I don't know. Because I've seen some slims now that they're calling something strange, and it's just a recurve blade, and it's got some weird name that they're associating with it that I don't know what it is. Didn't bother to look it up. And not a huge fan of recurves. They're nice if you're actually gonna, I would say more for, if I was to, my perfect knife, if I was to have, as far as if I was in law enforcement or military, would have a slight recurve and a little bit of serrations. That I think that would constitute as a perfect all-around hard use blade, to me anyway. But this thing is just, I'm in love with this thing. Truly, this thing is, it's going to get carried a lot. It's going to get used a lot. And, you know, that's about all I can say about it. But if you guys like the videos, give me a subscribe and like. I love the comments. Leave comments. And I appreciate you guys watching, and I hope you have a good one. Thanks.